Thich Nhat, Buddhist Zen teacher. Deep seeing. Being in contact with life in the present moment, we observe deeply what is. Then we are able to see the impermanent and selfless nature of all that is. Impermanence and selfishness are not negative aspects of life, but the very foundations on which life is built. Impermanence is the constant transformation of things. Without impermanence there can be no life. Selflessness is the interdependent nature of all things. Without interdependence, nothing could exist. Without the sun, the clouds, the earth, the tulip, they could not be. We often feel sad about the impermanence and selflessness of life, because we forget that without impermanence and selflessness, life cannot be. To be aware of impermanence and selflessness doesn't take away the joy of being alive. On the contrary, it adds healthiness, stability, freedom. It is because people cannot see the impermanent and selfless nature of things that they suffer. They take what is impermanent as permanent, and that what is selfless as having a self. Looking deeply into a rose, we can see its impermanent nature quite clearly. At the same time, we can still see its beauty, value its preciousness, because we perceive its fragile and impermanent nature. We may see that flower as even more beautiful and precious, the more fragile something is, the more beautiful, precious it is. For example, a rainbow, a sunset, curious cactus flowering by night, a falling star. Looking at the sun rising over the Vulture Peak, at the town of Versailles, at a field of ripe golden rice, the beauty saw their beauty, and told Ananda. So seeing deeply the impermanent nature of those beautiful things, their transformation and disappearance, the Buddha did not suffer or despair. We too, by observing deeply and seeing impermanence and selflessness in all that is, can overcome despair and suffering and experience the preciousness of the miracles of everyday life. A glass of clear water, a cool breeze, a step taken in ease and freedom, all these are wonderful things, although they are impermanent and selfless. Life is suffering, but it's also wonderful. Sickness, old age, death, accident, starvation, unemployment, natural disasters, they cannot be avoided in life. But if our understanding is deep and our mind free, we can accept these things with tranquility, and the suffering will already be greatly lessened. This is not to say we should close our eyes before suffering. By being in contact with suffering, we give rise to and nourish our natural love, compassion. Suffering becomes the element that nourishes our love and compassion, and we are not afraid of it. When our heart is filled with love and compassion, we will act in ways to help relieve the suffering of others. If the human species has been able to make any progress, it's because of our heart of love and compassion. We need to learn from compassionate beings how to develop the practice of deep observation for the sake of others. Then others will be able to learn from us the way to live in the present, see the impermanent, selfless nature of all that is. This insight will lighten suffering. Fear of the unexpected leads many people to live a constricted and anxious life. No one can know in advance the misfortunes that may happen to us and our loved ones, but if we learn to live in an awakened way, living deeply every moment of our life, treating those who are close to us with gentleness and understanding, then we'll have nothing to regret when something happens to us or to them Living in the present moment, we're able to be in touch with life's wonderful, refreshing, health-giving phenomena, which allows us to heal the wounds in ourselves. And every day we become more wonderful, fresh, and healthy.